ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಕರಣಾಭಿಮಾನಿ ಸುರರು ದೇಹವ ಬಿಡಲು ಕುರುಡ ಕಿವುಡ ಮೂಕನೆಂದೆನಿಸುವ ಪರಮ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಪ್ರಾಣ ತೊಳಗಳ ದೇಹವನು ಅರಿತು ಪೆಣವೆಂದು ಪೇಳುವರು ಬುಧಜನ. This is the third padya which describes the significance of Moola Rupa Vayu Bhagavan in the magnum opus grantha Srimad Madhwanama. There are totally 4 padyas which describe the Moola Rupa of Vayu Bhagavan, and this is the third padya. In the previous padyas, we have seen how magnanimous his power is. Well, this is an extension where we will be able to hear how the functionality of Vayu Bhagavan in our body is important. We have so many organs in our body, be it the eyes, ears, nose, the sensory organs or any other organ. These organs are maybe termed as indriyas. So for an indriya to function, we need the indriya abhimani devatas. It is a great misconception that today we all have that all the organs in our body or be it the respiration that is happening in our body is happening naturally. Rather, it is a Devi Shakti which resides in us, which is the reason behind the functionality that is happening. On this note, we have various indriyas on which the indriya abhimani devatas reside. There is 5 jnanendriya, 5 karmendriya, and in all these indriyas, the indriya abhimani devatas, those devatas responsible for the functionality of those indriyas reside, and they are the reason behind the functions that happen from that indriya. For example, for our eyes, it is the Surya Chandra who reside in our eyes, and due to them that we are able to see. Well, the padya here describes the fact that there may be various indriya abhimani devatas who are responsible for various indriyas and their functions in our body. But it is the Mukhya Prana Deva, the Jivottama Vayu Bhagavan, on whose order, on whose administration all these indriya abhimani devatas work. So this padya specifically establishes the superiority of Vayu Bhagavan, Mukhya Prana Deva, above all devatas. Now let's see this. Karana abhimani suraru dehava bidalu. Karana means indriya. Indriya abhimani suraru. Suraru are the devatas. So karana abhimani suraru, which means the indriya abhimani devatas. Those devatas who take care of the functions of the indriya, dehava bidalu. If they exist the body, deha is the body. If they exist the body, kuruda kivuda mooka nendenisuva. Kuruda means blind, kivuda means someone who is deaf and dumb. All these will be named to the person in whom the karana abhimani suraru taken exist from their body. But what happens if Mukhya Prana Deva exits the body? Parama Mukhya Prana Tolagala Dehavanu. If the Mukhya Prana Deva, Vayu Bhagavan, exists the body, Aritu Penavendu Peluvaru Budhajana. The Budhajana, the one who knew it, the one who are scholars, the ones who are knowledgeable, who are filled with wisdom, they will call that person as a dead body and not as an alive person. So we'll go to a short story which the Upanishad narrates to us, by which we can understand this incident clearly. So once there happened a little bit of a competition between various devatas, those devatas who take care of the indriyas, so that they can find out who is the superior among all and who has the higher power and strength. So on this note, they all approached Lord Srihari, where he told that the superiority is established with the functions. So when some can outfunction everyone else, that person is superior, that devata is superior, he said. So all these went to Lord Brahma and they requested for this competition. Now the competition is that all the devatas Abhimani Devatas, Indriya Abhimani Devatas, who are responsible for the functions of the Indriya, will exit from the body. On whose exit the body collapses and falls to the ground, that person has the superior power, he is superior. So this is the concept. They took a body. On first, in that person, it was the Surya Chandra, who are the Abhimani, responsible for our eyes, took an exit. So when in a person the Surya Chandra Devatas exited from his body, the person couldn't see anything, so he became blind. But then all the other functions in his body was clearly happening. Right. Next, it was another Devata, the Dig Abhimani Devatas, who are responsible for our ears. They took an exit. When they took an exit, the person became deaf. He couldn't hear anything. But other functions in the body was very visibly, clearly, apparently happening. He was eating, the food was getting digested, he was living happily. Then it was the another Indriya Abhimani Devata, Daksha Prajapati, who is responsible for our Panindriya, hands to function. So when he exited from the body, the person became handicapped. He couldn't use his hands, but then too he was living with his leg, he was seeing, he was eating, all the other functions of the body was happening. But when Mukhya Prana Deva, Vayu Bhagavan, took an exit from that person's body, that person collapsed and fell to the ground instantly, and moreover that he was not called as a person, but he was named as a dead body. So he just lost his life at that time. So this is how important the presence of Vayu Bhagavan is in us, and this establishes the superiority of Vayu Bhagavan over the other Devatas. The Devatas again repeated this competition by entering into the same body. So when the person collapsed and fell down, again the Devatas who are responsible for our eyes, the Indriya Abhimani Devatas for Chakshurindriya, are Surya and Chandra. When they entered, the person couldn't get up, he couldn't get to life again. When the Abhimani Devatas for ears entered into the body, even though the ears were functioning, that was not even mattered because the person was dead. So with the presence of any other Devata other than the presence of Mukhya Prana, that body was considered dead. Aritu penavendu peluvaru budajana. But then when Mukhya Prana Vayu Bhagavan entered into the body, that is when the body came to life and the person was full. He could get up and stand and do all his functions as properly. All these Devatas who understood the superiority of Vayu Bhagavan fell to his feet and they did namaskara to him. Of course, here we have to clearly understand the fact that these Devatas very well knew the superiority of Vayu Bhagavan. It is to show to all others that he is superior. This particular incident has taken place. Karanabhimani suraru dehava bidalu kuruda kivuda mookanendenisuva. So when every Indriya Abhimani Devata exited, they were labeled as blind or deaf or dumb or etc. etc. But Mukhya Prana, when he exited, Aritu penavendu peluvaru budajana. Budajana, here Budajana are actually the Devatas who are very knowledgeable. And if you take in the Bhumi, Budajana are great Mahans who are existing, who very well know the Vedas, Shastras, etc. And all those people recognize the fact that with the exit of Vayu Bhagavan, that body will be termed as a dead body and the person is no more alive. This is what Dasa says in one of his Suladi. He says, Charanadindali Indra Sunu Pogalu Helava. Charana are the legs. So the Abhimani Devata for the legs is Jayanta. That's why Indra Sunu, Indra's son, is Jayanta. If he exits, he will be termed as Helava, someone who is handicapped. Karagalindali Daksha Pogalu, he will be termed as handicapped. From his hands, if Daksha Prajapati exists, as I said earlier, he will be termed as handicap again. ತರಣಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪೋಗೆ ಪರಿಮಳವಾಗುವುದು. ತರಣಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. So the one who is responsible for our nose, nasikindriya, is the Ashwini Devategalu. So if this Ashwini Devategalu exists from our body, then there will be no effect of fragrance or smell to us. Then comes the tongue. Varuna is the one who is responsible for our tongue. So if he exists, there will be no ruchi, there will be no taste. Then comes the Agni, who is responsible for our speaking. So if he exists, the person will be termed as dumb. Then comes the Dik Devategalu. They are responsible for our ears. If they exist, then the person will be termed as deaf. Then comes the Bhudevi and Swayambhuvamanu, who are responsible for Payu Upastha Indriya, the Indriyas through which the excretion process take place. So if they exist, then there will be no those functions happening in the body. Then comes the Marut, Ahankarika Prana, who is responsible for our skin. So if he exists, there will be no feel that will be happening in our skin. But if Mukhya Prana Bhagavan exists, there is no such term which describes his function. Rather, the person will collapse immediately and he will be named as dead body. Says Sri Dasa to Aritu Penavendu Peluvaru. Pena means Hena, which means the dead body. Peluvaru Buddhajana is the consolidation of this Padya, which is the third Padya in the Magnum Opus Grantha Madhwanama. So the fourth Padya we will see in our next episode soon. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.